like? They are
Wow.
here, ain't they?
Wow.
What if everything you thought you knew about the internet's favorite catfish queen was only half the story? For years, millions have watched Hannah Barron fearlessly wrestle giant catfish with nothing but her bare hands, making the impossible look effortless. Overnight, Hannah Barron became the face of an extreme outdoor lifestyle, earning millions of fans and turning a risky tradition into viral entertainment. Behind the smiling videos and record-breaking catches were stories most fans never saw. A terrifying accident that nearly ended her career in an instant. And now, at just 30 years old, Hannah is making headlines again after finally addressing the rumors everyone has been talking about. Because one shocking moment after another led to where Hannah Barron is today. Where the catfish queen's story really began. Crenshaw County, Alabama is not the kind of place that makes internet stars. It is quiet, rural, and built around farmland instead of fame. Hannah Barron, born on July 3, 1996, grew up right in the middle of it. Long before phones and cameras, the outdoors was already home. The parents of Hannah Barron, Jeff and Lisa, split up when the future catfish girl was around 8 years old. That kind of change can knock a childhood sideways. Instead, it pulled Hannah Barron closer to Jeff and deeper into the woods that would later define an entire career. Jeff Barron was a serious hunter, the type who planned entire years around deer season, turkey season, and wild hog season. He did not just bring his kid along for the ride. He taught real skills, real patience, and real respect for the land. By age 8, Hannah Barron had already taken down her first deer, a 7-point buck. Jeff made the moment count by refusing to let an easy shot happen. A dozen smaller bucks passed by first. Patience became the lesson that stuck for life. Growing up as the outdoor kid in a school full of ordinary interests made Hannah Barron stand out. While classmates chased trends, this young hunter was learning to track animals, clean a kill, and read the land like a second language. Nobody in Crenshaw County knew what was coming. By age 4, identifying local snakes was already second nature, a skill most adults never bother to learn. Long hours spent walking creek beds and tree lines with Jeff Barron built an instinct for the outdoors that no classroom could ever teach. The mother of Hannah Barron, Lisa, kept a much lower public profile throughout those years, staying mostly out of the spotlight even after the fame arrived. Fans eventually met Lisa through an October 2018 video filmed while shopping during a hurricane, a rare glimpse into a quieter side of the family story. The video that broke the internet. Before the fame, there was a strange skill waiting to be learned. Noodling means catching catfish with nothing but bare hands, reaching into underwater holes and letting a fish clamp down on an arm. It sounds impossible until it is filmed and shared. A neighbor named Brad Gavins taught the technique after Jeff Barron helped him out with something years earlier. Hannah Barron picked it up fast, almost like the skill had been sitting there the whole time, just waiting. Then, one afternoon, a cousin pointed a camera at exactly the right moment. The footage showed a young woman pulling a 30-pound flathead catfish out of murky water using only bare hands. Nothing about the strength or the calm on camera looked staged. That clip exploded online. People with zero interest in fishing could not stop watching. Comments piled up. Shares spread across every platform within days. A nickname formed almost instantly, and it stuck for good. The catfish girl had officially arrived. What made the moment work was not shock value alone. It was the fearless grin, the total lack of drama, and the sense that none of it was performed for attention. That authenticity landed hard at a time when social media already felt overly polished and fake. By 2018, Hannah Barron graduated from Troy University with a Bachelor of Science, all while the online following kept climbing. The real education, though, had already happened out in the mud and the water long before any classroom. Standing at roughly 5 feet tall, Hannah Barron never fit the typical image people expect from a viral outdoor personality. That contrast between a small frame and enormous physical strength became part of the appeal, catching the attention of people who had never once thought about hunting culture. Attention grew far beyond social media alone. A well-known college football coach reportedly once attempted to recruit the rising star for entirely different reasons, a strange but telling sign of just how far the noodling fame had traveled outside the outdoor community. Reaction from inside the hunting community itself was not always warm at first. A young woman openly wrestling catfish barehanded challenged old assumptions about who outdoor sports actually belong to. Some longtime hunters dismissed the clip as a gimmick, convinced the attention would fade within a season. Instead, the following only grew larger with every new video posted. But fame off-camera came with a price nobody saw building. Around 2016, a relationship started that fans could not stop cheering for. Hunter Ryan Horton, a fellow hunter, became a regular presence in posts and videos. The pair hunted together, traveled together, and looked like a perfect match built for the outdoors. In October 2018, a birthday post celebrated 3 years together, warm and personal, giving fans zero reason to expect trouble. Then, in December of that same year, a photo showed 2 deer taken down together, both smiling after a successful night hunt. That photo turned out to be the final one ever posted together. By 2019, Hunter Horton was simply gone from the feed. No goodbye post, no explanation, nothing. The account of Hunter Horton went silent around June of that year as well. For a creator who shares nearly everything, that silence felt loud. Multiple sources reported an engagement had happened in late 2018, right around those final photos. If true, the relationship did not fade slowly. It collapsed right at the moment it was supposed to begin, and no public explanation ever followed. Instead of chasing a rebound storyline, energy shifted toward family. Jeff Barron had always appeared in videos, but after 2019, that partnership deepened into something closer to a full business. Editing duties for the YouTube channel of Jeff Barron even became part of the routine. No dramatic breakup video ever explained the ending, and no interview ever filled in the missing details either. That silence stands out sharply against an online career built entirely on sharing daily life. Fans searching for closure never received it, and eventually the questions simply stopped getting asked out loud. Even though curiosity never fully disappeared from comment sections for years afterward. The disappearance of Hunter Ryan Horton from public view was almost as complete as the disappearance from the feed of Hannah Barron. Social accounts tied to Hunter Ryan Horton went dark around the same window of time, leaving almost no trail for anyone hoping to piece together what actually happened between two people who once looked inseparable. Between the heartbreak of that vanished engagement and the next confirmed relationship years later, one name surfaced repeatedly without ever getting a clear answer. Cohen Stone, a fellow hunter working as a producer, appeared briefly in posts and public comments during 2020. Neither side confirmed nor denied anything, and the rumor eventually faded quietly on its own, never becoming the story fans expected. That father-daughter bond almost ended in tragedy. The accident that changed everything. On January 5th, 2024, everything nearly stopped. Jeff Barron climbed into a friend's hunting stand to inspect the equipment. When weight hit the platform, the top strap snapped without warning. The fall measured somewhere between 18 and 20 feet straight down. Jeff Barron was knocked unconscious and woke up alone, without a phone, deep in the woods. What happened next says everything about character. Jeff Barron walked roughly 400 yards through the trees, climbed a fence, and drove himself home. At the hospital, doctors found 3 fractured vertebrae in the neck and 2 more in the lower back, along with a bruised kidney. Hannah Barron spoke publicly about the fear in that moment, revealing that doctors warned a wrong shift could sever the spinal cord entirely. One small movement could have changed everything permanently. Jeff Barron survived, and the entire scare forced a hard reset on what actually mattered most. Somewhere between the heartbreak of 2019 and the terrifying accident of 2024, someone new entered quietly. Paul Washer, a professional firefighter and Air Force aviator from Alabama, began showing up in posts around 2022. Fans immediately had questions. Who is this person? Is it serious? Is an engagement coming? No big reveal video ever answered directly. Instead, Paul Washer just kept appearing naturally, on hunting trips, in casual photos, blending into an already established lifestyle. Then came a Valentine's Day post in February 2024. 2 people held up a catfish together with a caption reading, simply, "Happy Valentine's Day." For a creator who avoids relationship announcements, that photo functioned like a full press conference. What stood out most was how naturally Paul Washer fit into the world already built. Hunting came easily. Fishing came easily. Nothing about the relationship required pulling someone into an unfamiliar lifestyle, unlike years earlier. A career built around emergency response and military aviation gave Paul Washer a very different public profile compared to previous relationships shown online. Fans noted the shift quickly, pointing out that stability seemed to matter more this time than simply matching hobbies on camera. At 30 years old, without a single dramatic statement, every lingering question about love got answered through actions instead of words. No countdown post, no proposal reveal, no wedding announcement. Just a steady, ongoing presence that fans slowly accepted as the real answer all along. While fans focused on relationships, a business empire was quietly forming in the background. In September 2023, Jeff and Hannah Barron co-founded a CBD company built specifically for outdoorsmen, adventurers, and travelers. That move was not a random trend chase. It targeted exactly the audience already built over nearly a decade. Backed by real testing instead of empty influencer promises. The father-daughter team had officially become business partners as well as hunting partners. Around the same period, Jeff Barron worked on something deeply personal, building a dream home from the ground up by hand. A Father's Day post in 2024 thanked Jeff Barron for everything given over the years, including literally the roof overhead. Brand partnerships expanded to include major sports nutrition companies alongside a personal merchandise line called Barron Outdoors. Numbers told an enormous story by themselves. Close to 1 million subscribers sat on YouTube, over 1.7 million followers filled Instagram, and more than 2 million accounts followed on TikTok. Net worth estimates by 2025 landed somewhere between $5 million and $6 million, with annual earnings from sponsorships and merchandise reportedly climbing past $500,000 in a single year. A kid from Crenshaw County had built an entire brand from nothing but a fishing skill and a camera. Industry research backs up just how much influence a single creator can carry. A National Shooting Sports Foundation report found a 25% rise in female hunters since 2016. A shift many industry voices connect directly to visible role models filling social media feeds with authentic outdoor content instead of staged photo shoots. Recognition kept expanding well outside the hunting community too. A viral archery clip later got celebrated by a major sports media outlet as one of the most impressive shots ever filmed, pulling in an entirely new audience that had never watched a single noodling video. Then one online attack tried to tear all of it down. The internet turned against Hannah Barron. On March 9, 2024, a political commentator posted a video of Hannah Barron helping build the family home, Southern accent, front and center. The caption attacking that accent claimed it should basically be illegal and added insults calling outdoor women unfeminine. That post exploded, racking up over 60 million views within days. Most creators facing an attack that large would issue a careful statement, maybe stay silent for a while, maybe call in a PR team. That response took roughly 90 seconds instead. The response admitted not even remembering the name of the commentator, then flipped the entire narrative into a message about growing up as the outdoor kid nobody thought fit the mold. No defense speech was needed, only truth stated plainly. That calm response earned around 75,000 likes within a single day. New followers poured in immediately. Longtime fans felt completely vindicated. The very accent mocked as a weakness turned into the exact thing everyone wanted to celebrate. An attack meant to embarrass turned into one of the most effective promotional moments of the entire career. Media outlets picked up the story within days, turning a single insulting post into national coverage. Instead of fading quietly, the moment became a talking point about online cruelty, regional pride, and how quickly public opinion can flip against someone trying to tear another person down for simply being themselves. That reversal became something close to a blueprint. Every future attack aimed at Hannah Barron would now be measured against this exact moment, the standard for how calm confidence can turn public humiliation into public admiration within a single afternoon. Most competing videos about Hannah Barron stop right around that 2024 viral clash. What almost nobody covered came a full year later, when a brand new controversy hit even harder. On July 18, 2025, 3 photos went up showing a successful Idaho bear hunt, captioned simply with the animal and a bear emoji. That post alone pulled in over 21 million views and thousands of reactions almost overnight. 2 days later, backlash forced a public response. According to statements made afterward, the entire account got locked, partly blamed on that bear photo and partly blamed on an older elk photo used as a profile banner. Both animals were confirmed as eaten rather than left to waste, a detail rarely mentioned by outlets covering the story. For an audience already familiar with online outrage cycles, the timing felt almost identical to the accent controversy a year earlier. Different platform, different critics, same pattern. Outrage spread fast, support arrived even faster, and the account came back stronger than before. What makes this moment genuinely new is how it proves a pattern most competing content misses entirely. Every single controversy involving this creator, without exception, ends the same way. Attempted cancellation turns into free promotion, almost like clockwork. Comparing the two incidents side by side tells an even bigger story. The accent controversy came from a political commentator attacking femininity. The bear controversy came from a completely different corner of the internet, upset about hunting itself rather than gender roles. Two entirely different arguments aimed at the same target. Both collapsed the exact same way. Neither controversy slowed anything down. If anything, both moments proved that a loyal, engaged audience built over nearly a decade cannot be shaken by a single viral clip taken out of context, no matter how many views that clip manages to pull in. And just months later, an entirely different kind of headline appeared. The next chapter, nobody expected. By the middle of 2026, a surprising expansion hit the merchandise lineup. Alongside hunting gear and outdoor apparel, a swimwear collection launched under the same brand, something almost nobody following the hunting content expected. Sizes reportedly began selling out within the collection, with fans sharing photos of purchases across social platforms. For a brand built entirely around mud, camouflage, and catfish, a bikini launch looked like a total contradiction on paper. Comment sections filled up almost immediately with mixed reactions. Some longtime followers cheered the expansion as a natural next step for a growing business. Others questioned whether the shift risked diluting the rugged outdoor identity that built the entire following in the first place. Both sides kept watching either way closely. In reality, the move followed the exact same formula behind every other successful decision so far. Instead of chasing an image built for someone else, the expansion simply reflected an authentic lifestyle already lived in public for nearly a decade: hunting, fishing, and everything in between. Longtime followers pointed out something interesting buried inside the reaction. Critics who once called the accent unfeminine and the hunting hobby too masculine were now watching the exact same creator succeed in an entirely different lane. The contradiction critics expected never actually arrived. From a viral noodling video filmed by a cousin to a swimwear line selling out online, the entire journey traces back to one simple pattern. Every attempt to define this creator from the outside eventually gets rewritten from the inside instead. Looking back across nearly 10 years of public life, one thread connects every chapter of this story. A vanished fiancé never got a public explanation. A father near death in the woods came home on foot instead. Two separate cancellation attempts turned into record-breaking engagement. A hunting brand launched swimwear and somehow made sense anyway. None of it followed a predictable script, and that unpredictability might be the exact reason millions keep watching every single upload. From catfish to controversy to a business empire built on authenticity, Hannah Barron keeps proving critics wrong at every turn. The real story here is not about scandal at all. It is about someone who refused to change for anyone watching. Drop a comment on what part of this story surprised you the most. Hit like if this video was worth the watch, and subscribe for more untold stories from the world of viral fame. More videos like this one are coming very soon.